Today's video is saving a Piaggio 250. Seemed like a good idea at the time. Well, it still is. She's all sorted out now, but this is the story. Good morning, Danny.
Good morning.
How are you today?
Just fine, thank you. So, did you get everything sorted out?
Well, yes, I did. I finally got Edith, my new scooter, all sorted out.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, it's good. It's always nice to be able to save something because the last fellow that had it, I think he lost interest in it, and he only ridden it maybe 300 kilometers in 3 years. So it needed to be saved.
And you did that?
Yeah, we did that. But it did come at a bit of a cost. Well, you know, I had Shelly.
Yeah, I love Shelly.
Yeah, we had Shelly, my Yamaha 125, right from new. And basically there was no issues with Sally at all. It was just running just fine because we ran it all the time.
Yes, we sure did.
And so she was in really nice shape, but I decided that when I bought this scooter, there was an issue. I mean, it needed some body work, which we've covered in previous videos where there were scratches and scrapes. I'll show you a quick couple pictures just to show you what we had to do.
Yeah, we straightened that all up.
Yeah, we did straighten that all up. So this is what we did. So we got that all straightened up just fine, and it looks really, really good now, but I still had an issue with the throttle.
Like what?
Well, what was happening was, right from my first test drive, I took the bike out about 3 weeks before I even bought it.
Yeah.
And it would start up, run great and everything else, but as soon as you started to roll on the throttle a bit, it would just hesitate and die.
Well, that's no good.
No, it wasn't any good. So it was in the back of my mind that it hasn't been used very much, so I figured the carburetor might need some work.
That makes sense.
Or a vacuum line or something was old and cracked, and there were so many different ideas what it could be. I was hoping it wasn't going to be much.
Why were you wrong?
Yeah, a little. I was a little off. But I did show different people. I even took it out to my brother.
Dave couldn't fix it?
Yeah, well, I'm sure Dave could fix it, but we couldn't take the chance of pulling a carburetor apart and then not having parts to put in it, because it is an Italian machine.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, just like daily driven exotics. They cost a lot of money to keep them going.
It sure does.
So I decided, yes, I had to take it to the dealer.
Oh.
Yeah, we had to take it to the dealer. So we did get it in, and they went over it, and they did finally get it sorted out after they phoned me and said, it's not running at all now. But they finally got it sorted out. But apparently, shop rates down there is something like $125 an hour.
That's enough. They'll be a mechanic.
You do well. And I think they must have had some guy that was 100 years old that moved real slow and actually must have lost his tools and looked around for it and seemed to charge me for that.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so I did sell Shelly, and basically I was going to take those funds to repair the new one, to get it into the shop and get it repaired. As soon as I realized I couldn't do it, I had to free up some fund cash from somewhere, and that means
Shelly had to go.
Yeah, Shelly had to go. So I'll make a long story short. After selling Shelly and getting the money from Shelly, which I sold for a really fair price.
You sure did.
Yeah, and an extra $500 got her all fixed up. But they did do a lot of work on it, but $720 just in labor.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Actually, it was more than that. It was $1,000 in labor.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Oh, well. And we got the sheet here.
What'd they do?
All right. Well, I knew I was in trouble as soon as I walked in there, and I says, well, I think we better have the carb clean. And they asked me like 3 times, are you sure you want to get the carb cleaned? I said, yes. And they says, you're positive. We got to get this in writing that you want to get the carb clean.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, well, it wasn't doing me any good the way it was. So it says, I put in here, work service. What'd they write? Well, they wrote, poor acceleration up to 60 kilometers an hour, then okay. bogged out on corners, off the line, etc. And it says right here, here's the real trouble part. Carb cleaning authorized.
What a mistake.
Well, it had to be done. But they went in, they changed the oil, they did everything on it. They changed, checked the pads, they did a complete service on it. And also on Piaggio Italian bikes like that, it's water cooled.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to have the antifreeze changed every 2 years.
Yeah.
And this bike is 14 years old.
Yes, it is.
And I don't think it's ever been changed because it still had the factory clamps and everything on it. The only other way you can change the antifreeze on it is on some of the videos you can see on YouTube.
Yeah.
You release the water pump, pull it off, and let it drain out. But most people just take the bottom hose off the water pump.
Makes sense.
Yeah, but it's got the factory crushed clamps on it, so you have to replace it and put a hose clamp on it, which it has now. And so you know it's been changed and everything's fine there.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, so, yeah, and they carry on, but I mean, like an oil change on this thing, it's all synthetic oil, and that's like $120 just for an oil change.
Oh, no.
And actually, it didn't really need it, but they emptied out the gas tank and everything. So make a long story short, they checked the clutch, everything. What the problem was...
Yeah, what was it?
Well, what the problem was in the float, there's a needle valve. The needle valve was bent.
Really?
Yeah, so that was basically what the problem was. Plus the low-speed jet was clogged.
Yeah.
And you have to use premium fuel in Vespas.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's been happening because there was signs of ethanol. Makes a real weird scum in it, and the carburetor was all scummed up.
Well, that'll do it.
Yeah, so we got it back, and it's running just fine. Starts right up and everything else, but there's still a couple other things I'll need to do to it. Wait till next year now.
Like what?
Well, it should have a new drive belt.
Okay.
And should have some new tires on it. The tires are original, but they have been kept inside. That's one good thing. The scooter has been kept inside. So it's good that way. The tires are still nice and firm. They're not gone hard, or there's no cracks or anything in it. So I'll run it for a little while, and then maybe next year we'll throw some new Michelins on it, which is on there. So they're really good tires that are on there. So lots of tread left and everything, but they are basically over their code date.
Oh, no.
Yeah, well, I knew that when I bought the bike. I sort of like figured I had to put tires on it. Yeah, anyway, so that's the way it is. So that's the story of Edith.
I sure miss Shelley.
Well, people that bought it are really, really nice. They actually sent me a picture of Shelley in her new home, all tucked in.
Can I see it?
Yeah, here it is. All right, Danny. So I guess that'll be it for today. I guess we should... the sun's coming out.
That's nice.
Maybe we should take Edith for a ride.
Can I drive?
I think I'll drive. I'll put you in the trunk.
Serious?
All right. It says no pets in there.
I'm not your pet.
Yeah, that's right. So what are we going to do?
Stay calm, stay safe, be kind.
Good idea. All right. So that's the story of Edith.
Good story. Sound like Hoovie's garage.
Yeah, if you haven't seen Hoovie, I felt like Hoovie, where he's got his Hoovies. And the Hoovies are where he goes out and buys something for a half-decent price and spends way too much money on them and enjoys them.
That's a good idea.
That's what we're going to have to do. All right, so that's it for now.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.